So ito mga kababayan, no, nakita ko ito sa pinost ng Inquirer. At itong ginawang privilege speech ni IMEE Marcos, Senador IMEE Marcos. Kasi ang title ng post ng Inquirer, nakalagay, kita nyo itong part na ito, nakalagay nyo, siguro sa baba, nakalagay, ay IMEE Marcos express concern over Marcos government back RCEP. So parang may concern dito si Senador IMEE Marcos patungkol sa Marcos government, lalo na sa tila baga ay binabalak na pasukin itong RCEP, no? Hindi na natin patagalin mga kababayan, no, para hindi na kayo ma-boring. Ito, papanoorin niyo itong sinasabi ni Senador IMEE Marcos. Wait lang, unmute ko lang at kayo nang musga mga kababayan.
May I just raise the following questions by way of manifestation that the sponsors may or may not answer. We are repeatedly told everywhere we go that we are the last country to ratify this trade agreement, this treaty. However, the reality is, at the outset, a major economy refused to even join the discussion. Is it not a fact that India did not join RCEP precisely because of concerns similar to ours here in the Philippines on threats of circumvention of rules of origin, issues of trade deficit, and the potential flood of imported goods? We share the same problems with India, except they're much bigger and they're much stronger. And what about that growing trade deficit? Not projected, but actually recorded already in several countries. This is a major concern po. I would also like to mention that a statement was made by the sponsors that adequate safety nets are provided in the agreement to cover unwarranted or exceptional circumstances. May I simply say that these supposedly sufficient safeguards are no safeguards at all, simply because the success rate for successfully defending Article 20 of the GOV'T and the Article 14 of the GATS, the Services Agreement, is less than 3%. A study in 2015 reveals that out of 43 cases involving Article 20 of GATT and Article 14 of GATS, only one was successful. Wala naman dyan nananalo eh. Kaya itong mga emergency measures na sinasabi, parang palamuti na lang at parang consuelo de bobo, pagkat hindi naman nagagamit, hindi naman napapanalunan. Ito nga ang kinatatakutan natin. Meron tayong Senate resolution on the concurrence of RCEP, including measures and instructions to government agencies in an attempt to provide additional safety nets to the vulnerable sectors, particularly the agricultural sector. Ito nga ang problema. Nakita natin sa rice tarification law, may fund na sinasabi. Yet studies show that the income of farmers fell by 40%. How do we ensure that the measures indicated will indeed protect the vulnerable sectors? Ito nga ang mga problema natin. May bisa ba talaga itong mga safety nets na to? Ginagamit ba natin ng madalas? At talaga bang may epekto? Yan ang tanong ko. At I would also like to put on record the reported conclusion that there are great potential gains for the Philippine agricultural sector. It is not clear how the sector can capitalize on these potential gains, given the sorry state of agriculture in this country. Presently, we're struggling to provide basic agricultural services that were promised as early as 1994 with the WTO. Hanggang ngayon, in the last 10 years, ang compounded annual growth rate of irrigated areas is only 2%. We cannot deliver the basic services. Do we really believe we can deliver the services necessary to make our farmers capitalize and transform into competitive partners in whatever RCEP has to offer? In addition, a good bulk of the potential exports of Philippine agricultural products will be destined for China. given the recent moves by our government, um, which China has specifically already manifested their disappointment with the additional EDCA sites? Is it realistic to project that China will be buying all our durians? We're already witness to what has happened in the last few years with the Australia-China trade wars. Is this what we want to happen? And also, realistically, the peak of the bearing of the fruit bearing for durian is not tomorrow. It's after 10 to 15 years. Our Senate President knows that very well. He comes from Mindanao. And I believe that we should not make these promises simply because we will be fraught to fulfill them. Also, it is claimed that the RCEP will benefit the MSMEs due to a platform called RCEP SME that institutionalizes support and cooperation for them to be integrated in the great global production chain. The truth is, Article 14 of RCEP, the single article pertaining to MSMEs, uses very vague, non-committal words such as encouraging MSMEs, promoting, exploring. By these provisions, are we certain that best practices in trade will in fact be engendered? Is there a sanction? Will they be punished if they don't do this? This is a concern. Lastly, and as I said, I have no desire to torment my peers, most especially my Honorable Senate President, but the proponents of RCEP have stated that joining the trade agreement will result in an increase in electronic exports. But will these reports of electronic exports increases really defray the thousands of jobs already lost in the electronic companies leaving the country due to incentive and other infrastructure concerns? How confident is the DTI at the end of the day that electronic exports will increase due to RCEP, given the reported closures of electronic firms, not only here in southern Tagalog, but also in MEPSA and other places throughout the country? We are also aware of the loss of jobs everywhere in many of these areas. These are my concerns, and I am grateful to the President, to the majority, for allowing me to put them on record. The sponsors may or may not sabi, yet on record for the concerned sectors. Thank you very much po.
So yun ang pahayag ni Senador IMEE Marcos na patungkol naman yan sa mga import-import, kung tsuba-tsuba, no, kung ano yung ano niya. At saka ano niya, patandaan nakaraan nag-upload tayo ng video na mayroon siyang pinaparinggan. At sa ating pagsaliksik doon ay talagang nakikita natin na ang pinapatamaan doon yung mga desisyon ng kanyang kapatid, itong sa China at saka itong Amerika. Aid ka nga ito dahil nga parang nagkagirian dyan sa China dahil tila baga, no, hindi na pag-aralan at inihambing nga nito ni Senador IMEE Marcos sa isang pag-ibig. So yun lang muna mga kababayan ng ating video at maraming salamat. See you next video.